In this video, I want to look at what is an assignment in its learning. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the student perspective, how they submit work through that assignment, and then how you can create your own. Let's get started. An assignment in its learning is literally just a digital way for students to submit their work to the teacher. That may be a homework assignment, that may be a journal, that may be a picture of work that they have done, or a full-blown project. The options are endless. Let me show you what it looks like and how to create one. So I'm logged in as a generic student into this course, and here on the planner I see the lesson for today involves an assignment. So if the student clicks Start, they're told to complete the assignment, click the right arrow, and the assignment comes up. Notice a few things right away. I see that the teacher is telling me that I can review how to do subtraction word problems by watching this video. So the student can just click this play button and watch the video. So the teacher just embedded that Khan Academy video right there in the directions. And then for the assignment, they need to solve the word problem below. And then there's the word problem that they need to answer. Now, this particular assignment does have a rubric attached to it, and I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but just know that that is an option that you can actually put the rubric right here on the assignment. And over here on the right, the student will see when the assignment is due, that it is a homework assignment, the standards attached to that particular assignment, that it will be graded with a score of 8. On this particular one, they were assigned to do a self-assessment, and that looks like everything. So when the student is ready to submit their answer, they just click where it says Answer Assignment. It will open to a page like this, and notice at the top there is a Show option. So they can click Show, and it'll actually reveal the exact same set of directions that they saw on the previous page. Sometimes they may want to copy the answer or the question that was given in the directions, and then they could paste this down into the answer box. Now notice there's a lot of different things here the student can do. If they don't see this rich text editor, notice there's a hide and more option. Sometimes depending on the screen size it may not show everything, so they can click here on more options to toggle back and forth between the different choices. But they have bold, italics, they can do colors, subscripts, superscripts, bullet points. Additionally, as well as typing, they can add a picture. So if you've had them do work and they've taken a picture of it with a device and then they need to submit that picture in the assignment, they can click on Image. And then if they go up here and do Upload and Insert, they will just find that file on their device, upload and insert, and it'll add that picture right there within their answer. Additionally, notice there is the option to record their answer. So for your little students, this may be a great option. They don't know how to spell really well and you just want to hear their voices. So they can click here on New Audio Recording, and then they just click Record Audio, record, it counts down. They'll just start recording their answer to your question. So I could just say Sally takes her number and subtracts Don's number, and that tells them how many pieces of candy she has. Now after they're done recording, they have to record at least 10 seconds. They hit stop. It's going to upload that file for you, and then it's going to ask them to name the file. They don't have to name the file. I'm going to just call mine Sample. Hit Save, and it's going to actually put that recording right here within their answer. In addition to the audio recording, they could actually video record themselves as well. So a lot of different options there for the student to submit their answers. If they have gone out and they've created a file, so this is a huge project, they could actually upload their file here. That file could be from their OneDrive or their Google Drive, either one. I'm going to show you a way in a future video on how you can actually have the students, you can push out a template to them and they have to type on that template and they submit that file back to you. But we'll talk about that in another day. So when the student's all done, they'll just click Submit. And then they'll get a summary telling them when they submitted it, what time. They'll see exactly what they put as their answer. So this is a crazy answer. And notice here's where they did their recording. This is what it's going to look like when it comes to you, where you'll just hit play. Now, a couple things I want to point out here. The way I set up this assignment, they can edit it until the deadline. So if they realize, oh no, I did that wrong, they can come back in here, hit edit, and make any changes that they need to on this particular submission. A couple other just examples. This one's very similar. The teacher embedded a video just showing you what they mean for the topic of personification, and then the directions are that the students are going to write a story or a poem from the perspective of Mount Everest. And they put all the requirements. When you do an assignment, it's really good to put details in there of what you want the students to do. Notice this one actually put an exemplar picture and then a few reminders on how to actually complete the submissions. And a last example, this is beautifully done with pictures, and then they also put a link in the directions to the instructions and the rubric for their particular project. So let's quickly look at how you add an assignment to an itslearning course. I would first recommend that you find the folder that you want to put the assignment in, and then once you're in that particular folder, then click the Add button inside that folder. Once you click the Add button, scroll down the page, and assignments will be the first thing under Activities. Additionally, you can click up here on the Add button and click Assignment. The only difference is it may not go where you want it in the folder. When I click Assignment, it's going to ask me for a title. So you'll title it whatever your particular assignment is. And then in the description box, this is where you would go through and actually put your directions. Just like with the student submission, you have color options, you have bullets, you have numbers, you can add pictures, you can add recordings. So once again, those of you teaching the lower grades, you may want to videotape yourself or record your voice so that the kids can watch that video or listen to that audio recording telling them what you need them to do. So type in your directions right there in that description box. Once again, the more detail the better, but keep it simple. Over here on the right, you will see that this is visible for students. If you want to set a time frame of when it's going to show up for the kids and when it's going to disappear, you can go ahead and choose a date and exact time. Deadline, if you know exactly when you want the students to submit this, you just click and put your date and time that you would want that to close. If you don't want the students to see it after the deadline, you can check this box. Is this truly a homework activity and you want it to show up on the task list as a homework activity? You can check that box. You can add the standards that go with this particular assignment. When it comes to the assessment scale, if you plan to grade this, you want to change it to score, and then you would tell itslearning what is the maximum score. And then remember, in itslearning, you have the ability to send that grade from the itslearning gradebook to your IC gradebook. So you could actually check this box here to add it to your gradebook. Here's where you can decide if you want this to be something that the student has to assess themselves, and or if you want it to be a peer assessment. And that'd be a great way for students to read one another's papers and give each other feedback. Under submission status, there are a lot of different options there. I like the edit submission choice just because that allows the student to resubmit if they realize they made an error prior to the deadline. If you don't want them to have that option, you can just choose status. Do you want the results to be visible to the students? I would assume after you grade it, you do want that, so go ahead and leave that checked. There is an option that students can do group work here, and so you would check that option, and the students would select their group members when they submit their assignments. I would never do the anonymous submission choice. That is an option. There is a plagiarism control. So if the students submit their work and you have plagiarism on, it will go through and give you a plagiarism report. We'll look at that in another video. and then is it mandatory or not. So type all that information in, click create assignment, and you're ready to go.